The AirPods Max have been a game changer for me because they have zero audio delay over Bluetooth, even on my Windows PC. This is so critical for when I video edit, as my Sony WH-1000XM4s constantly skip audio at the beginning of a clip, and it drives me nuts. But the one drawback of all Bluetooth headphones is that they're not truly wireless because none of them offer wireless charging. They all require you to plug them in. Thankfully, my man James over at Walnut Apple has developed this solution here, so now I can charge my AirPods Max totally wirelessly, and it looks damn good while doing so. Let's get honest. My name's Danon, and welcome to Ahnestly. I'll first start with an overview of how this product works, and then I'll get into common questions and concerns you guys might have, and then finish the video with pros and cons that I've come up with regarding this product. Now, links to everything you see here will be in the description below, and if you guys want to pick up this stand/charger, James has agreed to give you guys 10% off if you use the code Ahnestly at checkout. Real quick, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments below which headphones you guys use. Okay, let's go. The stand is a solid block of walnut with two machined slits here to hold each cup, and it's done very professionally. It looks super nice. And then on the right side is gonna be another hole, and in there sits the magnetic charging cable. And the way this works is that the head, the lightning cable part of it, sits inside of your AirPods Max, and then what you do is you just slowly drop it in here, and because it's a magnetic connection, you'll really feel when it's made connection. And then you can also tell, because the magnetic force is so strong, you can lift your AirPods Max up and the headphone stand will come with it. And because that magnetic force is so strong, your headphones basically will never tip over like it would on another stand. Now I'll talk about the weight of the stand in just a minute. And if you guys want to know, the standard length that comes with these chargers is 3 feet long. If you want a longer cable, let James know at checkout and you guys can work something out regarding that. Included in the box is going to be a 3-foot magnetic cable, as well as another lightning magnetic head, as well as some sticky pads. And these sticky pads are supposed to go under the stand so that it can lock down to whatever surface, so that when you lift up your headphones, the whole stand doesn't come up with it. Now, just to clarify, this is a solid block of walnut. This is not like veneer. Just walnut just seems to be a lot lighter of a wood. I have a walnut desktop top, and it was also surprisingly light. Now, some of you guys might be concerned, like, hey, what if this cable fails? Like, the magnetic cables can be a little bit finicky sometimes. I can tell you guys that I've had this for about 3 weeks, and he's got about 100 some reviews on his Etsy shop that all have glowing reviews. And if anybody has had any issues, James has told me that he's worked directly with them to come to a very happy, satisfactory conclusion. So yeah, if you have any issues, feel free to reach out to him. Moving to common questions and concerns. Can you switch out this cable, let's say if it dies, or you want a different color, or you have a different preferred brand? And unfortunately, the answer to that is no. This is a sealed design, and so there's no way for you to switch that out without damaging the product. The best way to go about that is, again, contact James, and James is a one-man show and a small Etsy shop. So he's gonna work really hard to make sure he gets his positive reviews. So again, reach out to James for that. Will this headphone stand put my AirPods Max into low power mode? And the answer is no. And this is something that I was concerned about as well until I read this article where they did really in-depth testing of the AirPods Max battery life, and they concluded that low power mode makes almost no difference when it comes to battery life. Because of that, I was like, I don't care anymore. Can I wirelessly charge other headphones on this stand? Unfortunately, James said that this was designed specifically for the AirPods Max, and I did test it with my WH-1000XM4s with a magnetic plug here, and unfortunately it doesn't work. You can see that it's just not maintaining a solid connection. That's not to say that it might not work with other headphones, but again, if you guys buy it and then you see that, hey, it doesn't work with the headphones I have, keep in mind that there is a no return policy, because again, he's shipping these all the way from France. Will it work if I have a protective covering on my cups? Well, I actually have the Spigen textured shell, which looks really nice, but adds quite a bit of bulk to the cups. And for me, this works just fine. He confirmed that all the silicone shells will work. However, if you have something even thicker than the shell that I have here, or the covering that I have here, you might be in a little bit of trouble. Right now, I can fit it just fine. Like I said, I can just drop it in, push it into a little bit, and I'm good to go. Will they scratch my AirPods Max? I can't guarantee one way or the other, but obviously I'm not willing to try. I will say that while the edges of this are smooth, inside of the cup, there are some slightly rough parts that I think that if your AirPods Max slid left or right just a little bit, you might get a little bit of scratching. So it's probably best that you use these with a covering. If not, just make sure that when you push it in, you just go straight down and not left to right. So what are the pros? Well, for starters, you get a really premium solid walnut headphone stand that looks good on virtually any desk. And to add to that, the footprint is absolutely minimal. Now compare that with these giant headphone stands that take up so much footprint space, which I absolutely just, I cannot stand. But they have to be big because otherwise the headphones will fall off or slip off. With this, it's a double banger. Not only is it tiny, but it's also the most steady and secure headphone stand I've ever used because of the magnet. Now look, if I hit this way, or that way, or this way, or this way, it's not coming off. It's pretty darn incredible. The next pro is that this offers incredible convenience while minimizing risk. So because every time I had to plug this, I had to run down a lightning cable, I would always wait until it was always at the very minimal amount of battery life before I charged them. Or I would have to physically pick them up and go find a lightning cable that was already plugged in and then charge them, which increases the chances that I'll drop, scratch, ding, whatever, right? With this, now it's always within an arm's reach from where I typically use them. And I know that because I can just plop them down, they'll always be full of juice if I ever need to take them out or away from where I typically use them. The next pro is that with this, you get all the benefits of wireless charging without any of the drawbacks, and you get all the benefits of plugged in charging as well. So typically with wireless charging, Qi charging, it's gonna be a lot slower and it's gonna make your device incredibly hot. With this, the device, that AirPods Max, never got hot, and I got the same amount of charging speed as I would on a plugged in charger. So after about 5 minutes, I got about 6% battery life, and that's gonna carry you to that 60 minutes that Apple claims if you were to charge plugged in for 5 minutes. And here's what the rest of the charging times look like. Moving to the cons. This stand is pricey, but it's not just the stand. You may also want to invest in some kind of covering for the cups so you don't scratch those cups. And I just realized that my hand motion in that sentence was just really weird. Ignore all that. But yeah, because there is no protective covering or soft padding in these grooves, there's just a minimal risk that you might scratch your AirPods Max. So again, that's going to drive up your cost just a little bit. The next con is that I wish this thing was weighted. There's something about weight that makes a product feel extra premium. And this product, while it feels great, everything is super smooth and slick, it just doesn't have that weight that keeps it glued to your desk. And for me personally, I want to be able to move this and shift this around on my desk, because if I don't like it in one position, or if I need to take it out for a shot for B-roll or something like that, I want to be able to have the freedom to do so. Maybe it's just a me problem, but it's a con for me. The final con actually has a lot more to do with the AirPods Max's design than it has to do with the headphone stand, and that is that you may want to have an Apple device around if you're going to use this headphone stand. As I mentioned before, I use these headphones with my Windows PC, and there is no way on the AirPods Max that you can tell that this thing is charging. Even if it's plugged in physically with a cable, there's no way to tell that this headphone is charging. The only way you can tell is if it's paired to an Apple device and you check the status of the headphones on the Apple device. I know it's so dumb, but whatever, it's what it is, right? And there is one incident where I thought the headphones were on low battery. I plugged them in for the night and I came back in the morning and they were still low battery. Now it's not a huge deal because, like I said, they give you the same speed as if it was plugged in. So after 5 minutes, I got 60 minutes of juice, but it is something to be aware of. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. If you like what you saw, use my code Ahnestly for 10% off and support small businesses. And speaking of small businesses, technically this channel is a small business. And so I'd really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what you like, what you dislike about this product. Until next time, guys, stay safe. And as always, stay honest.